Hello, I'm Nicole, the artist behind Art by Nicole, and today I have an art haul. So let's go. Okay, so these are some things that I have picked up in the last couple months. Um, I did not get these all at once. So yeah, let's just dig in. Okay, so first thing is this little projector. I got this in expectation for when I'm working larger, painting wise. Um, I would like to draw out my sources or figures or whatever I may be painting beforehand on the same size sheet of paper, or even smaller. I guess doesn't matter because I'm projecting. But anyway, I got this to project my drawing onto my canvas to transfer the image. I just feel like that would be the easiest way to make sure that my proportions are still correct and stuff like that. So um, it may be a while because right now I'm only doing 16 by 20s, but yeah, you'll probably see this in upcoming videos this year. Speaking of proportions, I went ahead and got the Milan Art Institute proportional divider. And how you do this is you just unscrew it and move it to get the proportion you want. I got this one because I have this size, and I had just been using it, for really nothing larger than a 12 by 16. And I'm working 16 by 20 for painting or larger. So I needed a bigger one, and I couldn't find, one this style on Amazon in a larger format. And my husband couldn't 3D print one because, the bed of the 3D printer is only so large. It only goes up to 10 inches, which is what this size is. So, yeah, this will come in handy. And then I got some other tools. In my last video, I talked about how the drawing lessons were focused on value scales and things like that. And I didn't think I needed one of these, but I thought it could come in handy, right? Like it can't hurt to have one. So I got one of these from the Color Wheel Company. And I like this one that has like the cutouts so you can actually like hold it up to see what value is on your drawing or painting. What I don't like, and it's not a big deal, is that the values are reversed. So this says value 1 and this is value 10, whereas I would think this would be a 1 and that would be a 10, but whatever, just nitpicky, I guess. And then I got these guys. It came in a 2-pack. They're viewfinders for when you're looking at a composition. You can, look through the window and kind of frame out most useful for like plein air or figure drawing or what have you. But it has marks so that you can get your proportions right. You can do landscape or whatever. So it has 12 by 16, 8 by 10, 11 by 14, 8 by 12, and 9 by 12. So you just line up those notches and you have your window. And then this hole in the center, you look through it to help you isolate colors when you're, especially when if you're like painting outside, or I guess really even doing still lifes, which I think is coming up in the drawing section. So good to have. And then I found this guy. It's from Composite Grids. And it's a little hard to, there you go. So it's gridded out, rule of thirds, which is what you want for a good composition. So you can look through it this way or this way, and it can help you frame your composition. But the coolest thing that this does is if you look through it at your painting, you can see if your values are correct, because it removes all color from the equation. It's just red, and it's easier to see your values. One of the feedback things I got on my last oil painting was I needed darker values in the sky. And yeah, you can kind of see that without needing this tool. But this just in general, especially if you got like a lot of stuff going on in your composition, this will help you find your values. So these kind of play together a little bit. See how it makes everything red and you can easier see your values. And then these two things do the same thing, but I have a smaller one here for sketchbooks, and these are angle finders. You can also use them as like a straight edge or whatever. So say you have your source image, like a little sneak peek of what's coming. So say I want to find the angle of this tail. So you lay one end horizontal, and then you match the angle with the other one so that when you pick it up and you go to paint it or draw it, you can see the angle rather than just guessing. This will help me get better at guessing, but for now, these are nifty little tools to have. So I have a small one here for working at my desk in a sketchbook or smaller scale things. And then I have a larger one here, which I'll keep by my easel. So, yeah, pretty neat. Next up, I have some brushes. These are Royal and Langnickel Aqualon Wisp brushes. And they look a little funny. They're filbert brushes, but they have this extended layer in the middle of the brush where there's longer bristles and they're kind of spaced out. What this brush does is if you wanted to paint a feather and you wanted it to have that like feathery look, You could use a script brush and draw a bunch of lines, or you could use this brush and get a bunch of lines with one stroke. So this makes it easier to draw things like feathers, hair, fur, grass, anywhere where you want a bunch of lines. So the Royal Langnickel calls them Aqualon Wisp brushes. They are also referred to as rake brushes, like a rake when you're cleaning up leaves. So they can be a little tricky to get used to. You need to have your paint at the right consistency. You don't want it thick. You don't want it too thin where it runs. So I'll be practicing with these because, well, like I just showed you, the next painting I'll be doing will be a parrot. And there are quite a few birds in the imagery, like the source images that are provided for you for Milan. And I don't hate it. I mean, I actually really enjoy birds, painting birds. I think they're just beautiful. So, yeah, really looking forward to trying these out. So I mentioned how the mastery program got a huge update, and that happened January 30th, 31st, whatever that Saturday was. And before that, I wasn't planning on working with acrylics until part 2, which is like 16 weeks. Part 1 is 16 weeks, so part 2, we were going to work with acrylics. Now we're doing the part 1 starts with acrylics. So I had already gotten one of these for my oil paints, and I was planning on getting another one for acrylics when I got there, but we're there now. So, and I was still planning on holding off, but this was on Amazon and there was like $8 off. So it was only $20. So I picked it up. So glass palette, and I love a glass palette. I've been loving it for the oils because you just scrape it and it's clean. It's really, really handy. Speaking of acrylics, so I've worked with acrylics before. My dot mandala paintings were all done in acrylic. I do have acrylic paint. I have some of that like craft acrylic paint, which was like a good consistency for the dot mandalas. But I also have a lot of tubes of Liquitex Basics, which if you've seen any of my other art hauls, you'll know. I did one where Michael's was having an incredible deal and I got 25 things of acrylic. Well, here's the fun part. I was planning on just using my Liquitex Basics because that's what I had, and I didn't think it would be a big deal. So I printed out the materials list for the updated program, and I was looking at the colors, and out of like the 19 or 20 colors you need for the program, or they recommend, I mean, You can get away with less, but they recommend like 20 colors. I only had a handful. Apparently the colors I liked and picked were more for my mandala paintings. They're more convenience colors. And Liquitex Basics is not a professional brand. It is a good brand. It is an excellent student grade. I would say even like a lower artist grade even. You can make absolutely amazing paintings with Liquitex Basics. And if you've ever seen, I think it's Lisa Lockery Fine Art on YouTube. I watch her all the time. I'm a patron member of hers, Patreon. She only uses Liquitex Basics for her acrylic paintings, and they are incredible. And that is fantastic. And I'll still use my Liquitex Basics, but for the mastery program, they recommend that you use heavy body acrylics, which makes sense because those are like tier 3 artist grade paints. Okay. They're more heavily pigmented. A little goes a long way. They're just professional paints. And if you want to be a professional artist, you should use professional materials. I mean, Lisa's a professional artist and she uses Liquitex Basics. But anyway, I'm on board with that. Professional artists, professional materials. So I looked into getting the colors on Blick, but it was like really expensive. Because I was thinking that I would do the Golden Open because I have slower drying time, easier blending, whatever. But then I looked at the kits that Milan put together for the program, and I saw that they had, is it the acrylic starter set or something like that, where you get all the colors that they recommend for the program. The acrylic brush set, which I really wanted because my brushes are kind of crappy. They're fine. They're cheap and expensive. You don't need expensive brushes, but I really wanted the set from Milan because it had all the sizes and, you know, they look nice and it says Milan on them. You know. And it also comes with this acrylic medium and varnish. So my husband said I could get it, so I got it. So, yep, acrylic medium and varnish. And then let's look at the brushes first. The nice thing too is, so the oil brushes were black handles with red writing. And the acrylic brushes, I can fix that, have white handles. So it'll be easy to keep them apart because you do not want to interchange your brushes. I'll have to use some brush preserver or whatever on this. I really wanted this brush because, I mean, look at it. It just looks like fun, right? So we've got a 2-inch filbert. And again, they don't have sizes. Oh well. Oh, that feels nice. Got a square brush. And a square brush with different bristles. Still soft, but a little stiffer. A large round. A medium filbert. A smaller flat or square. A small filbert. And a small round. And now the Heavy Body Acrylic Professional Artist Quality Paint. So it's 19 colors. So it's 18 colors and then the white. What I really love about the Milan paint, oil paint as well, is they make their own. It's made in the US. It's awesome. So we have a giant white, and the tubes let you know if the paint is opaque or transparent. That's important when you're layering, working in layers. So, and this box is really nice. You could just keep your paint in here. It's all organized. That's really cool. I wish the oil paint came like this. I don't know. Maybe they upgraded. So we have cadmium red medium, transparent red oxide, cadmium orange, transparent yellow oxide, cadmium yellow medium. Does it have... Yes, it has the ASTM light fast rating. So this is one excellent. Sap green. Phthalo green. Ultramarine blue. Phthalo turquoise. That's pretty. I love me some turquoise. Opus pink. Dioxazine purple. Mars black. Sorry about the noise. That's annoying me too, but raw umber. Green gold. Phthalo blue. Payne's gray. Cobalt teal. Ooh. That's going to be pretty. And quinacridone violet. And that just fits right there. Yeah, I really like this box. It's So it's great for organization, and look, it's so pretty. I don't know if that's Demetra's art or Ellie's art. Scan that QR code right there if you want to shop at the Milan art store, which recommend. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait. I can't. I'm pumped. So yeah, I'm going to be starting over. I was only 2 sections in. Um, I had a couple setbacks personally, but those are seeming to resolve themselves. So I can't wait to jump back in. Stay tuned for that. Going forward, when I talk about the mastery program, I'll just I'll just be starting over. So instead of week, I'll say section, because that's what they call them, sections. Okay, so there you have it. My kind of random, kind of not random art haul. It is what it is. And again, these are things that I have accumulated over the last several months. This all was one purchase from the Milan art store. And all these other items, including the glass palette not pictured, were all separate. So stay tuned to see how I use these supplies. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!